Good morning, and welcome to today's webcast, Unlock the Full Value of Your NetSuite Investment. Before we begin, I'm going to play a brief housekeeping video.
Welcome and thanks for joining us. Our webcasts are designed to help elevate your business performance. Transform your future for the better with advisory solutions tailored to your vision and supported by our collective technical resources. Our presentation will start in a few moments. Before we begin, here are a few things to keep in mind. You can customize how you both view our presentation and interact with the presenter. For better viewing, close all other applications and turn up your speaker volume. You can also adjust window size and placement or enter full screen mode using the controls at the top of the window or dragging the bottom right-hand corner to resize. At the bottom of your screen, you'll see a series of icons, each relating to a different aspect of our session. You can download the group attendance sheet and a PDF copy of today's slides from the slide deck and handouts widget. You can ask our presenter questions during the webcast by typing a question in the Q&A window and clicking Submit. We'll do our best to answer all questions during the presentation or follow up via email. If you experience technical difficulty during today's presentation, refresh your browser by hitting the F5 key. As a reminder, the presentation you're about to see is not legal, investment, or accounting advice. We encourage you to seek the counsel of a professional service provider to apply this content to your specific circumstances.
Before we get started, I wanted to share our big news. Moss Adams and Baker Tilly have joined forces to redefine accounting, tax, and advisory services for the middle market. It's really exciting, and you can read more about it on our website via the link in the slide deck and handouts widget. I'm pleased to introduce today's presenter, Chase Pendley, Client Engagement Senior. With that, I will turn it over to Chase to get us started.
Thank you, Talia, and thank you everyone for attending today's webcast. This session will be centered around maximizing the value of your NetSuite investment through various training options and resources that are available to you. So as Talia mentioned, my name is Chase Pendley. I'm a Client Engagement Senior on the NetSuite practice. I'm coming up on 6 years supporting NetSuite clients from account management and customer success-centric roles. During that time, I've spent a few years working at NetSuite and top partners such as Moss Adams, now Baker Tilly, all with a focus to help customers scale, increase in efficiencies, and then overcome complex challenges. So this is a topic that I'm passionate about. I've gotten to work with so many different NetSuite users and watched their NetSuite skills and career grow over the years. It's broadly applicable to everyone, whether it's new users or super users. So with that, today, our agenda will be covering the Company Learning Cloud Support Pass. We'll get into user guides and guided learning. We'll touch on NetSuite educational and training events, whether in person or virtual. We'll go over NetSuite certifications, and we'll try to reserve some time at the end for Q&A. I'd like to start off, though, with a quick polling question. So would you prefer training that's focused on technical or admin functions, day-to-day operational tasks, development and scripting, or other? So we'll park here for a minute to give everybody a chance to answer. All right, great. Give it about 5 more seconds for any last second entries here. Great. Thank you, everybody who answered. Day-to-day operational tasks, 1. Good deal. Awesome. That's helpful for us. And hopefully that you'll take away something from this session that will help you with that, or at least where to find guidance on the day-to-day operational tasks. So jumping into things, we'll start off with the Learning Cloud Support Pass, it goes by LCS for short. Now, this is an add-on to your core subscription, and it's an online platform of on-demand content And it includes personalization features based on different roles and goals that you can go ahead and set within the platform. One of the nice changes that NetSuite made a couple of years ago is they actually switched this from individual passes to a company pass. So one subscription for this will allow all general access users to access this platform. Now, standard SKUs and above will have an education advisor assigned and receive training sessions. So depending on your subscription plan with NetSuite, you'll be aligned to a tier of the Learning Cloud Support Pass. Now it goes from starter, standard, premium to enterprise. And most are going to be that standard and up. I've not come across too many starters, but if you are on that standard, you'll get 4 training sessions up to 2 hours per session for a 1-year term. The premium does get 6 training sessions up to 2 hours per session for a 1-year term, and enterprise will be the same as premium. So you're able to work with those education advisors that are assigned to you to do those different training sessions and help set personalized learning paths for you and your team. Now, if you sign for less than a 1-year term on this Learning Cloud Support Pass, those sessions would be prorated. And within this is going to be content for everyone, from new users to the most advanced of users. So there's over thousands of hours of content, and it's going to cover many different process areas, modules, and so on. And it includes hands-on lab exercises. So what this means is when you're learning these new skills, you have a safe environment to practice on. You don't have to go into your NetSuite environment and test out what you just learned here. And then there's interactive webinars that are led by these education advisors. So one of the great things about the LCS Pass, it's how it's able to be personalized. When you go in there, you're able to set your role and your learning goals, whether that's learning new features, if you want to pursue certifications, or whatever it may be, for tailored suggestions, and it's going to give you predetermined learning paths. Now, you can also favorite any course or learning path so that you'll have easy access back to it. There's a favorite sections within your profile, so if you see something that you want to come back to at another time, go ahead, favorite it, and come back to it easily without having to search for it. Then within your account, you can also track your progress towards any specific course or learning path. For example, if you're pursuing a certification such as the Suite Foundation certification, there's going to be numerous different videos within that path. And you can see, okay, how far along have I gotten through this? Maybe there's 25 hours of total content and I've covered half of it. Just give you an expectation of where you're at. And you can also work with the education advisors to guide you to specific content based on your learning goals. So now the platform will give you those predetermined recommendations, but you can also work with the education advisory team just in case you want a second opinion or just to have somebody else to work with and ask questions back and forth to. You have access to those demo environments that we talked about, safe place to practice new skills. And there's plenty of content here on for NetSuite certifications if that's a goal of yours. So I would argue this is the best resource if you're pursuing NetSuite certifications, along with learning NetSuite in general. This is going to have more content than anywhere else that you'll find. It's on demand, so you can access it whenever you want and go at your own pace. So I like to start off with the Learning Cloud Support Pass because this is typically what I consider number one for NetSuite learning and development. The nice part about this too is that you can earn CPE credits as NetSuite is registered with NASBA. And something they added recently, which is cool, is they added this free Explorer Pass, which it's a more limited version of the platform. It's really more introductory level content, but it's a great way for you to test drive the platform and get a feel for how the content is structured, how to navigate the platform before you actually commit to purchasing the subscription for it. So again, great resource here, tons of content, and then we'll actually jump into some screenshots of the course catalog. So if you'd like a sneak peek at some of the content available, you can go to the course catalog online. On this slide, there will be a link. So we send this out afterwards. You can click this link and it'll take you to the course catalog. It's not going to show you everything that's available, but it gives you a good amount to give you an idea of what's out there. And I went ahead and grabbed some screenshots of what I consider some of the more popular areas people are accessing. So that would be accounting and finance, data and reporting, inventory, and certifications. I'll park here for a moment just so you can take a look and see what kind of courses are out there within this platform. All right, next up we have user guides. And user guides are found in Suite Answers, which is accessible from the support tab in NetSuite. So once you're in Suite Answers, you can search for ID 50287 or type in user guides, and it'll take you to this page. And there's various types of guides, and I found over 230 when I was in here on all different topics. And what they are is they're printable PDF documents that are providing conceptual information. They give you guides of how to use different features, implement different features or modules, and all kinds of different NetSuite functionalities. And it's really centered around, like we were saying, new features, managing users and roles, account administration. There's plenty of content. And this is an alternative that's great for people with the learning style that prefer written documentation. And they're really easy to navigate. Some of these guides are long, there's lots of pages, but the ease of use is what makes it so great that you can pinpoint exactly where you want to go efficiently. And we'll look at that on the next slide. So here we have a user guide opened up for electronic bank payments. And for this example, we would like to understand how to set up bank records. So viewing the screenshot on the left side, we'll see the table of contents. And when you're within these PDF documents, they are clicked to navigate. On the right side of the screenshot, we clicked setting up electronic bank payments, and it expanded to expose its subsections. We then clicked setting up bank records, and it took us right to the information that we were looking for. So within seconds, we found what we were looking for. So as you can see, it's really easy to navigate. And these are great because you can download them, and then you can easily share them with your colleagues. So I see these used a lot, but I do come across quite a few people that aren't familiar with them. So I thought it was worth a good mention here. Now we have guided learning, and guided learning is a relatively newer feature within the past couple of years that it's a nice feature that they added. And you maybe have seen this button here in the top left of this slide, and you wondered, what is this button? You've maybe dragged it around to move it on your screen, possibly even disabled it. But if you haven't looked at it yet, what it is it's a tool that guides you through different NetSuite processes and different tasks, and it's embedded on all standard NetSuite pages. So if you click to expand it, such as the screenshot on the left-hand side, you'll see a list of options. And how this works is it uses interactive pop-ups to guide you through these areas of NetSuite. So you'll see the pop-ups will point directly to the buttons or areas that you need to press in NetSuite, and will also list out the click path as well, as shown in the screenshot on the bottom right. Extremely useful for new NetSuite users and people that are just learning about new parts of NetSuite. It can be a little daunting working in NetSuite as a new user. There's a lot of different areas. You might be afraid to click certain things. This eliminates that uncertainty and shows you exactly what to do. So here I've taken screenshots of all the sections expanded. So within section Your NetSuite Center, now this is a handful of different overviews, and it's great for someone that's newer to NetSuite or just unfamiliar with any of these topics. So I'll give you general information about these. Under useful tools is all different kinds of reports and tasks in NetSuite. So this will simplify tasks and help you navigate exactly where you need to go and show you what to do. Plenty of different guides in here that are relevant to different types of roles. So anywhere from finance to warehousing and so on. And then you have NetSuite Basics. So this includes guides on some of the more fundamental parts of NetSuite. There is a bit more of a focus on personalization here to set up your dashboard with different report snapshots, KPI screen or scorecards, safe searches, and so on. And for those of you who haven't done this, it's a great way to set up your dashboard to get information that you regularly access right there whenever you log on to NetSuite. And then there's help and support. So in this section, it's going to walk you through the different ways to get support in NetSuite, such as Suite Answers, the Help Center, community forums, and so on. It's also where you access that free MyLearn Explorer Pass. Now, you will need an Oracle account to do that, so you'll have to set one up. It's very easy to do. But you can register for your free pass here. Go ahead and type in for Learning Cloud Support Pass before you actually commit to a subscription on it. And again, that's the more limited version, introductory level content, but great starting point for new users and anybody that's interested in the LCS Pass. All right, so moving on now, let's talk about some of the NetSuite events. And there's plenty that are out there. There's going to be ones that are in person and virtual. Now, there's some key events that I will highlight here, starting with Suite World. So that's the big one. It's NetSuite's annual conference in the fall. This year, it's in Las Vegas, October 6th through 9th. And at Suite World, they're going to have pre-event training. So in person, fantastic training with NetSuite education advisors. There's certification paths here. They have plenty of executive keynotes, tons of breakout sessions, all different kinds of topics. There's going to be an exhibit center with all kinds of different partners. So these could be NetSuite solutions that plug into the platform. Maybe it's for different process areas that NetSuite doesn't have a solution for, or that you want to explore an alternative. There's learning labs, so hands-on training in person. And at the end, they always do a big party with a big concert. So there's also local meetups and networking, opportunity to connect with peers and speak with product experts. There's hands-on training and tips at Suite Learning virtual events. Now, companies that are interested in NetSuite can try before they buy with the Inside the Suite events. So this is where you can join NetSuite technical experts and gain hands-on experience through a free demo account. These are in person. And then you can also attend live demos of NetSuite functionality during Suite Fundamentals events that are virtual. And we'll delve a bit deeper into these on the following slides, but I'd like to encourage you to check out the events page to see what's going on in a city that you're at or near you. I think in-person events are fantastic. Virtual events are as well. But if you're in an area that they're coming to, it's an awesome opportunity to get to talk to people about NetSuite. So with Learning Labs, these are hosted by the NetSuite Education Services team. Now, they're a half day of training and all different kinds of NetSuite topics. This is another opportunity to earn CPE credits, and you'll work with NetSuite Education Services team for that hands-on training. Now, there's personalized sessions with product experts. It's a great opportunity to network with local NetSuite users in similar or different industries and roles. And then on the left side, you'll see screenshots of some of the upcoming learning labs and then the example agenda of how they usually go. Now, when it comes to NetSuite's virtual events, there's a few that I'd like to highlight. Suite Fundamentals. So again, this is where you can see live demonstrations of NetSuite functionality that are intended to help businesses solve some of those core challenges they're facing. And you can attend these events to be a live session. There's also recordings that are on demand, and they do different series. And right now, the series is a hot topic. It's all about tariffs. Then we have Suite Learning. And this has a focus on maximizing the value of your NetSuite solution through hands-on training and how-to guides. So for my readers out there, plenty of downloadable ebooks. And then if you're not near a city that's hosting in-person meetups, these virtual meetups are a great way to network and connect with NetSuite experts and peers. And you can find out the latest on NetSuite updates, talk to others how they're using the platform, and get some of your questions answered by the NetSuite experts that attend those as well. And another reminder, if you ever miss a virtual live event, you can always access the recording that's on demand. These slides here are all including clickable links. So when we send this out afterwards, any of the links that you click here will take you to the pages for more information as well. Did I skip one? Okay, no, here we are. So Suite World pre-event training. Now, we briefly mentioned this earlier, and what it is a 2-day training that goes on October 4th and 5th, and it's before the actual Suite World conference starts. And there's going to be instructors that will demonstrate NetSuite processes in a classroom-style training environment with hands-on exercises. And there's going to be courses that are anywhere from introductory to advanced. So the format is set up to promote collaboration as well. So you'll be at workstations, but in small groups, so only a few people per workstation. And there's 2-day courses for NetSuite certification exam preparation, and those courses also include the exam afterwards. Now, the certifications that are offered at Suite World are going to be the NetSuite BI and Reporting Specialist certification, Suite Foundation, and NetSuite Administrator. Now, if you don't have interest to pursue NetSuite certifications, but you still want to do this pre-event training just to get a little bit sharper from the platform, you can mix and match all different kinds of various courses that do not include an exam but that way you can pick a more pinpointed topic that you're interested in. And you probably guessed it, you can earn CPE credits by doing these as well. So I'd like to ask another polling question here. How do you prefer to learn new skills in NetSuite? Is it through live instructor-led training, on-demand guides? So think of those recordings on demand or user guides, or sorry, the next one is documentation and user guides, or peer community and forums. So we'll park here for a moment to let people answer. Okay, we're about halfway through the attendees' answer. I know my preference is on-demand guides. I like being able to jump to different sections and chapters, finding exactly what I'm looking for. All right, we'll give it about 5 more seconds. All right, a little bit closer this time, but live instructor-led training. Awesome. Well, good deal. I would encourage you all to look for learning labs, those in-person events, the interactive webinars. Those are all great opportunities for you all. And then the on-demand guides. Take a look at the Suite Answers user guides. I think you'll find those really helpful. And then also obviously any of the pre-recorded events that you'll find on the event sites with the links in the previous slides. Same for you with documentation and guides. User guides is right where you want to be looking. And peer community forums, find those events going on, local meetups, if there's any virtual networking events. All right, so let's talk about some of the NetSuite certifications. And you might be wondering, what's the point of a NetSuite certification? It's not like you need one to use NetSuite. Well, it's a way to showcase your qualifications within the platform, and it shows that you operate at a standard based on the certification that you received. It can also show increase in value that you provide to your organization. It can even qualify you for new roles and responsibilities. For companies, it's an opportunity to develop in-house expertise and to be able to leverage more of your investment if your users are using more of the platform. After all, it is oftentimes one of the most important systems that a company is using. And here we have a list of the current certifications that are offered. Typically, you're going to see the starting point as Suite Foundation. And if somebody achieves their Suite Foundation certification, they can move on to the Administrator certification. Financial user and Suite Analytics users are also very common certifications. And the rest are some certifications that are offered for stronger, more advanced users. But we see NetSuite users achieving these all the time. So what do you need to know about NetSuite exams and certifications? And here I put together some general information about it. So exams can be taken at a testing center or online. Both options are proctored. So if you're taking the exam online, it requires a webcam and you do need to install proctoring software. Now, testing centers can be found at the link to the right. They're going to be possibly different universities or community colleges near your actual testing facilities. And there is a cost for the exams. And if you have any necessary retakes, there's cost for those, and the cost will vary by exam. If you need to take the exam again, so if you didn't pass on your first attempt, you need to retake it, there's a 10-day waiting period for that. And the exam questions are multiple choice and matching. As soon as you finish the exam, you'll receive your results immediately. Whether you take it online, in person, at SuiteWorld, you'll find out right there if you passed or not. Some exams will have prerequisites, so that administrator exam does require the Suite Foundation exam certification first. And then online, you can find PDF study guides and practice exams. Now, they're not going to be the real questions on the exams, but they're amazing for understanding the structure of the exam, the type of wording you can expect, getting used to that multiple choice or matching format. And then on the bottom here is a link to register for an exam. So before we transition to Q&A, I'd like to remind everybody that we at Moss Adams, now Baker Tilly, we also have a fantastic support team that can help as well. It's really easy to use. You can submit technical support questions to our support staff by simply sending an email to our support email address. Our on-demand support plans, they have no minimums and it's a use it as you need it plan. And here we have a team of expert NetSuite consultants and developers to either work on your NetSuite environment or to help address your technical and operational questions. If you're not already set up as a client of ours, you can reach out to my personal email address right there on the bottom, and we'll help you get set up as a client. So here we have time for a little bit of Q&A. We have a few minutes left over. So I'll give a minute here and see if any questions come in. All right, we have the first question. So, do NetSuite certifications expire? Yes, they do expire. So once you receive your NetSuite certification, it's going to be valid for 2 years, and renewal requirements of your certifications will be communicated by email. It could include a Delta exam or a refresher course, but it's typically much shorter than the actual exam you took to achieve the certification. All right, we have another one here. Is there a cost to access Suite Answers for resources such as user guides? No, if you're set up as a user in NetSuite, you can access Suite Answers and all of its materials, including those user guides. Give it one more minute here, see if any other questions come in. Okay, we have a question. Would you recommend attending Suite World for a completely new user? Yes, absolutely. Whether you're interested in the actual pre-event training, which could be extremely useful, or just going to some of the different sessions that they actually host in person there, you're going to have an opportunity to learn all different things about NetSuite, whether it's different process areas, about modules your company is invested in, but they have all different kinds of folks on different roles. So if you're in finance and accounting, if you're on the inventory side, whatever it may be, there's going to be so much content there for you. So with that, I would like to thank everyone for attending today's webcast. I hope you took something useful out of this. I hope you're finding resources that can help you become more proficient with NetSuite. And with that, I'll pass it over back to Talia for closing.
Awesome. Thank you, Chase, for a great presentation today. If we didn't have time to answer your questions, we will do our best to follow up with you after the webcast. Here's a link to an online survey where you can provide feedback for today's presentation. Please take a moment to complete this survey, as your feedback is very important to us. Please also visit mossadams.com for future webcasts and other resources to help elevate your performance upward. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you'll join us again next time.